Hit like now to catch episode 29, where Jack proves his leadership skills and heartfelt love in every moment, from the promotion ceremony to comforting phone calls, as they work together toward a bright future. In the morning, Jack eagerly got dressed to head to the company and complete the paperwork for his new position as branch director. His mother had thoughtfully prepared a suit, a dark-colored tie, and a pair of shiny leather shoes. Seeing her son smiling at his reflection in the mirror, she joked, "My boy really looks like a leader today." Jack grinned and replied, "It's all thanks to you, Mum. I've worked hard for years, and now I finally have this chance." He invited her to come along to witness this important moment, but she shook her head and said, "I have to stay home and cook, getting everything ready for your celebration with friends and family tonight." Jack reluctantly nodded, hugged his mother goodbye, and picked up his briefcase before heading out to the car. Before leaving, Jack messaged Ly Tu Tien, a trusted friend, asking him to swing by the farm and pick up Tu Tien so she could attend the ceremony with him. At home, Tu Tien was already dressed neatly and looking lovely, waiting expectantly. However, as time passed and nobody showed up, she began to worry. Thinking Jack might be busy and unable to come, she decided to walk out to the main road to catch a ride herself, not wanting to trouble him further. Leaving the farm, Tu Tien trudged along the dirt road, feeling a twinge of sadness that she might be late for Jack's ceremony. Meanwhile, Ly Tu Tien finally arrived at the farm, only to find she was gone and rushed off to search for her. Around that same time, in a quiet stretch of road, a gang of robbers was lying in wait to steal money from a woman who had just collected a debt. As the woman stepped out of a wooden house clutching her bag of cash, the robbers ambushed her. She screamed and fought back, but they knocked her to the ground, her head striking a stone, and she lost consciousness. By chance, Tu Tien came upon the scene, horrified by what she saw. The robbers fled with the money, leaving the woman motionless. Tu Tien quickly kneeled to check her pulse, relieved to find it faint but still there. Frantically, she pulled out the woman's phone, searched for the driver's number, saved under the woman's contacts, and managed to reach him. She spoke rapidly. "Your boss was robbed and is unconscious. Come help right away." Within minutes, the woman's car arrived, and Tu Tien and the driver lifted her inside and rushed to the nearest hospital. Although it made her late for Jack's ceremony, Tu Tien stayed to make sure the injured woman received timely treatment. That morning, the company held a ceremony to announce Decision No. 5, dated October 28, 2024, appointing Jack as the new branch director. The atmosphere in the auditorium was buzzing, with everyone eagerly awaiting the big moment. Once the leadership finished reading the official decision, Jack stepped onto the stage to enthusiastic applause. He was praised for his talent, dedication, and the many successful projects he had led in the past. Before the board of directors, he solemnly accepted the responsibility of running the branch and pledged to fulfill every task. He then expressed his gratitude to everyone, sharing his desire to continue learning and contributing to both the company and society. After the ceremony, some employees invited Jack out for celebratory drinks. He politely declined, citing personal errands. In truth, he was anxious because Tien hadn't shown up as planned. He called Ly Tu Tien, the friend who was supposed to pick her up, but learned that she wasn't at home. Jack furrowed his brow, puzzled about what could have happened. He didn't realize that Tu Tien had actually been standing outside the company for quite some time. The outfit she wore had accidentally gotten soiled on the way, making her feel self-conscious about going in. Feeling dejected at not being able to celebrate with Jack, she quietly returned to the farm. Back in her little cottage, Tu Tien hastily washed the clothes Jack had given her, thinking about the moment she could have witnessed him being honored. She felt a pang of disappointment and sat dazed on the porch, a hint of sadness on her face. Worried, Jack decided to drive to the farm to find out what was going on. When he saw her hanging laundry, he pressed her. "Why didn't you come? I called so many times and couldn't reach you." Not wanting him to worry further, Tu Tien fibbed that she'd been busy, leaving her phone inside so she never noticed his calls. Although Jack was somewhat suspicious, he respected her answer, only saying gently, "I was afraid something had happened to you." Before heading home, Jack invited Tu Tien over for dinner at his mother's request. Tu Tien hesitated because it was late, but Jack urged her. "Mum's been waiting for you, please come make her happy." In the end, she nodded in agreement. Though she hadn't been able to celebrate with him at the ceremony, Tu Tien still felt Jack's warm concern and hoped she wouldn't miss another important moment in his life. Late in the afternoon, Jack's mum was bustling around the kitchen, preparing all sorts of tasty dishes to celebrate her son's recent appointment as branch director. She rolled up her sleeves and spread out meat, vegetables, and seasonings across the countertop. Jiang, a close family friend who arrived early, jumped in to help. As they washed vegetables, they chatted about work. From time to time, Jiang teased, "Wow, you're cooking so many dishes, I bet we're expecting a big crowd tonight, aren't we?" Jack's mum smiled kindly. "Not that many, just a few close friends. I'm hoping everyone will come share Jack's joy." A little while later, another one of Jack's friends, Luan, dropped by. Glancing at the clock and realizing it was getting late, Jack's mum asked Jiang, "Why isn't Jack back yet? We're about to set the table." Jiang looked at her watch and shrugged. "I'm not sure. Maybe he's busy picking someone up." Right then, they heard a car pull up outside, and Jack walked in with Tu Tien. They were carrying a small gift bag. Seeing his mother covered in flour, Jack hurried over to help her tidy up, while Tu Tien bowed in greeting, feeling a bit self-conscious since it was her first time attending a family gathering at Jack's home. Jack's mum beamed. "Perfect timing. Put everything on the table. We're almost ready to eat." Once everything was set, everyone gathered around the large dining table, and the excitement in the room grew. Jack's mum raised her glass to toast her son. "Here's to your continued success, and may you live up to everyone's trust." Jiang, Luan, and the others enthusiastically clinked glasses, praising Jack's skills and leadership. Curious about the young woman with him, they turned to Jack, who introduced her. "This is Tu Tien, my girlfriend." Surprise flickered in their eyes, but they immediately welcomed her with warm smiles. Tu Tien bowed her head slightly and murmured, "Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to learning a lot from everyone." During dinner, Jiang thanked both Jack and Tu Tien for their help in the past and shared a few amusing anecdotes, but suddenly asked to leave early due to a personal matter. Jack's mum looked surprised. "You're not staying a bit longer?" Jiang just offered a brief smile, quickly said goodbye, and slipped out, leaving a few puzzled glances behind. Even so, the gathering remained cozy, filled with lively chatter and laughter. Jack kept placing food onto Tu Tien's plate, worried she might feel shy. His mother gently patted Tu Tien on the shoulder and said, "Make yourself at home. I already think of you as family." Though Tu Tien felt happy, she also felt a hint of guilt for missing Jack's appointment ceremony. Meanwhile, Jack breathed a sigh of relief that she could at least be there for the family celebration, sharing in his joy on such an important day. Early in the morning in that peaceful countryside, the sound of a babbling stream and birdsong echoed across the fields, creating a fresh, soothing atmosphere. Tien woke up bright and early, dressed in simple but clean clothes, and began tidying her home with care. She wiped down every corner, neatly arranged her belongings, and opened the cage for her pigeons to fly out and greet the feed she'd prepared. As she gently scattered the seeds, the birds chirped excitedly, as though sharing in Tu Tien's joy. Once she finished her housework, Tu Tien stepped outside to immerse herself in the lush green expanse of the vegetable fields. Diligently, she harvested fresh greens, carefully bundling them into small bunches for the market. Hours passed under the mild morning sun as she not only tended the soil and plants, but also organized the neatly tied bundles by the roadside, pricing them at 5,000 dong each. Thanks to her hard work and meticulousness, she earned a good sum of money, enough to buy a few necessities like a large pot for raising pigs, which would help expand the farm. Meanwhile, back in the city, Jack was busy at the company. After his promotion, he had been exploring new work methods and admiring the modern, promising office space. Yet he couldn't shake the longing he felt for Tu Tien. Once the construction site work paused for a progress review, Jack realized how much he missed her. He grabbed his phone and called to check on her. The phone rang while Tu Tien was selling vegetables at the market. Jack's voice brightened as he said, "How are you doing? I just wanted to hear your voice to know you're okay. I've bought you a new phone so we can stay in touch more easily. That way I won't worry when I get caught up with work." Hearing Jack's words warmed Tu Tien's heart. Even though she felt a pang of sadness for missing some recent celebration with him, she answered softly, "I'm doing fine, just selling vegetables and making enough to buy a few supplies. Thanks for thinking of me. I'll be careful with the new phone." That call felt like a thread connecting the two of them, offering comfort on both ends. Jack went back to focusing on his tasks, but his spirit felt lighter, knowing Tu Tien was well and working hard on the land she cherished. In their own separate places, they both held on to a shared hope for a bright future. for the farm, and for their lives together. Gyong sat quietly in a corner of a coffee shop, her eyes gazing into the distance. Memories of her past misdeeds toward Tu Tien came flooding back, and she felt a pang of remorse. After a moment of reflection, Gyong decided to visit the farm where Tu Tien lived, hoping to have an honest conversation and show some goodwill. She stopped by a fruit stand to pick out some fresh fruit, then headed toward the farm. Upon arriving, Zhang was greeted by a slightly bashful smile from Tu Tien. Seeing the fruit, Tu Tien thanked her repeatedly, then invited her to sit on a bamboo cot under the shade of a mango tree. In the quiet of the farm, they began to talk. Tu Tien shared her difficult past, how her ex-husband and his family had abandoned her for not being able to have children, how she'd once lived in a mountain cave, and how she was fortunate to receive help from strangers. Jiang listened, her eyes filled with sympathy, and then revealed that it was actually Jack who had purchased the farm for Tu Tien, despite his claim that it was just borrowed. She also confessed her own feelings for Jack, though he only thought of her as a younger sister. Concerned about Tu Tien's circumstances, especially the uncertainty of having children in the future, Jiang worried that this might cause complications in Tu Tien and Jack's relationship. She offered her help if Tu Tien ever needed a new place to stay, or any form of support. Tu Tien grew emotional and thanked Jiang, assuring her that she already considered Jiang a friend. She added that Jack was the reason she kept going, even though she wasn't sure what the future held. Later that day, Jack finished work early and picked up some grilled fish for Tu Tien, knowing how much she loved it. His mother was attending a banquet, so he went to the farm and helped prepare a simple meal of rice, stir-fried vegetables, fried eggs, and grilled fish. The warm atmosphere between them was filled with relaxed conversation, and they occasionally laughed about everyday happenings. After the meal, Tu Tien took out a civil law book, trying to learn something new. Jack nodded in approval and encouraged her to keep striving for a better life. He also admitted how much he missed her while at work, and mentioned his worries when she hadn't shown up at his appointment ceremony. Tu Tien smiled sheepishly and blamed a sudden obligation. Jack took her hand and reassured her, "I truly love you. Your past, or any hardships, don't matter to me." Hearing this, Tu Tien's heart felt warm, and she believed that her efforts were being rewarded by Jack's genuine affection, an unwavering shield in her life.
Đón tiếp nồng hậu, trong khi cô, người đã hy sinh cả thanh xuân vì mái nhà này, chỉ là một cái bóng nhạt nhòa, thật sự quá nỗi đau lòng. Mẹ chồng cô không ngần ngại buông những lời cay nghiệt như thể chỉ chờ cơ hội này để trút hết khinh thường lên đầu cô. Cái nhà này cần có cháu đích tôn, chứ không phải cần một người đàn bà vô dụng. Từng lời nói chữ dắt dao cứ sâu vào trái tim Tự Tiên. Đôi mắt cô đỏ hoe, bàn tay nắm chặt bảo và áo cũ. Cô kìm nén để không bật khóc trước mặt những kẻ chẳng chút thương xót cô. Chiến, người từng đỏ tay gối với cô, người từng hứa hẹn bao điều, giờ đây lại lạnh lùng đứng nhìn không một chút do dự. Cô đã không còn gì trong ánh mắt anh ta. Nỗi đau không còn dừng lại ở những lời miệt thị khi mẹ chồng lớn tiếng đuổi cô ra khỏi nhà. Tự Tiên gần như quỵ xuống, cô không biết mình đã làm gì sai ngoài việc sinh ra một